seen a lot of content lately saying things like eccentrics aren't as important for muscle growth as we thought. And on the surface, it sounds fairly reasonable. But the deeper you look, the more that conclusion falls apart. A lot of the studies people are referencing are comparing things like normal reps with slower lowering speeds or concentric versus eccentric actions. And the takeaway is usually there's no massive hypertrophy advantage to doing eccentrics. And again, that's fine, but that's not what most coaches mean when they talk about eccentric training. Because in those studies, the load is almost always the same on the way up as it is on the way down. And that's a massive flaw. You are stronger eccentrically than concentrically, about 20 to 60% stronger depending on the individual and the movement, meaning you can lower significantly more weight than you can lift. So if the weight is based on your ability to lift it, your eccentric phase is underloaded just by default. You're not overloading anything. You're just controlling the sub-maximal load. So when people say eccentrics don't make a difference, what they're really saying is underloaded eccentrics don't make a difference, which, yeah, obviously. Actual eccentric overload requires you to exceed your concentric capacity, and that usually means a partner helping you lift the weight, or machines that allow heavier negative loading, flywheel training, weight releasers, or some kind of specialized setups. Now you're actually loading the part of the movement where you're the strongest, and that's where things get really interesting. There's research on flywheel training and accentuated eccentric loading showing improvements in strength, power, and in some cases even hypertrophy. In fact, the newer ACSM position stand even acknowledges eccentric overload as a variable that can enhance hypertrophy. But here's the catch. Real eccentric overload is very hard to standardize. It's hard to quantify. It's really hard to do safely with most people's setups. And it usually requires equipment or assistance that most studies don't use. So instead, we get a lot of research based on tempo changes, and then people apply those conclusions to something completely different. And it's just not a fair comparison. So no, I'm not saying you need to go chase extreme negatives or do anything reckless, but I am saying this. Slow eccentrics are not the same as eccentric overload. And if you've never actually overloaded the eccentric, you haven't really tested what it can do. Because at the end of the day, overload still matters, even on the way down. If you're interested in learning more about how to apply eccentric training and eccentric overload in your own at-home workouts with Reform Fitness, make sure you ask your trainer the next time you do a workout, and we'll make sure you get a real eccentrically overloaded experience.
Thank you for watching the entire video. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel before the video ends and give this video a like as well. Really helps us so we're able to spread more evidence-based exercise to more people. Thanks again.